All right, 1.3, solve linear equations. Solve linear equations, just some basic things you need to be able to do in Algebra 2A. You've done this in Algebra 1. So the first step is, if you have 4/5 x plus a, the first step is to subtract a. So you get 4/5 x equals 12. Then when you ever have a fraction, you want to multiply by the reciprocal, which is 5/4. So those cancel out, leaving you with x equals, well, a couple ways you can do this. You can do 12 times 5 divided by 4. What I like to do is just do 12 divided by 4 is 3, and 3 times 5 is 15. Okay, so x equals 15. Make sure you check your work when you do these problems. Plug them back in and check. I'm not going to right now just to save time, but make sure you do that. Okay, so during one shift, the waiter earns wages of $30 and gets an additional 15% in tips on customer food bills. The waiter earns $105. What is the total the customer's bill? Okay, so you have your wages, which is 30. Okay, and the percent per tip is 15%. You want to write 15 as 0.15. 15% is 0.15. They want to know what the customer's food bill is, so that's X. And the waiter earns $105. So that's his income. So that's how you would set that up. After you do that, you would subtract 30, which gives you 75, which I should be able to do without a calculator. So 75 equals 0.15x. Then you want to divide by 0.15 on both sides, which gives you $500. So x equals $500. Okay. So that was a shift. So basically, we waited on a person to $500. That's how much the food bills were total. He got 15% of the $500 plus the $30 equals his income of $105. So that's how you would set that up to solve it. Okay. So these, again, we're going to do these in class. The real estate problem is just like the waiter with the tip problem. So we'll do those in class and we'll do that. Make sure you guys understand. When variables, when you have variable on both sides, there's a couple different ways you can do it. I like to, especially in an equation when it doesn't matter, I like to keep my variables positive. So if I want to keep my variables positive, I'm going to subtract 7p from 9p. So I get 13 equals 2p minus 5. Then I'm going to add 5 to both sides. Get 18 equals 2p, and divide by 2, we get 9 equals p, which is d. When there's an inequality sign, we'll get the inequality signs later, but sometimes I like to keep my inequality sign the same, or get my letter on the left and my number on the right. But for right now, equations, it doesn't matter. Always try and keep your letter positive. So subtract the smaller one or try and keep your letter positive. Okay, this one says solve the problem using the distributive property. So what you're going to do is distribute first. You got 3 times 5x, which is 15x. You got 3 times negative x, negative 24, equals negative 2 times negative x is 2x. Negative 2 times 7 is negative 14 minus 12x. Okay, then you want to combine like terms. So we have 15x minus 24 equals 2x minus 12x is negative 10x minus 14. Then we want to keep our x's positive, so I'm going to add 10x over. You get 25x minus 24 equals negative 14. Then we're going to add 24 to both sides. Negative 14 plus 24 is 10. So the last step is divide by 25. This gives us x equals how many times 5 go into 10 twice, and times 5 go into 25, 5 times, so 2/5, or you can write it as 0.4. Either way works. So distributed property, you need to be able to do that. Solve equations, you need to be able to solve equations with variables on both sides. These work rate problems, I'll show you a cool example in class. Not a cool example, but an example of this in a movie that's kind of funny. But these problems come up a lot, so you just want to make sure you know how to solve them. So it takes you 8 minutes to wash a car, and it takes a friend 60 minutes to wash a car. How long does it take two of you to wash 7 cars if you work together? So your rate, you wash 1 car in 8 minutes. Okay? And the time is X. We don't know what the time is, so the time is X. Plus your friend rates, he watches 1 car in 6 minutes. We don't know the time, X. Equals 7 cars total. So if you have 7 cars total, that's how you would set that up, how you set up these work rate problems. Is 1 car over 8 minutes, X, plus 1 car over 6 minutes, X equals 7. Now, if we probably don't want to deal with fractions, so what we want to do is multiply by the least common denominator of 8 and 6 to get rid of the fractions. Well, 8 and 6 both have the least common denominator of 24. They both go into 24. So what I can do is multiply this side by 24 and multiply this side by 24. So when I multiply this side by 24, 24 divided by 8, or 1/8 of 24 is 3x. And I multiply that, 24 times 1/6, or 24 divided by 6 is 4x. Equals 7 times 24, because what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. 7 times 24 is 168. So we get 168. So then 3x plus 4x, that gets rid of the fractions, makes it a lot easier. 7x equals 168. Divided by 7, divided by 7, 168. Divided by 7 is actually 24. Yeah, it's actually 24. So it'll be x equals 24 minutes. So it'll take 24 minutes to watch 7 cars to get it. That was your work rate. And that's how you would set that up. Okay, so we'll practice that. Actually, you'll get a practice on that one on the next page, the number 11. It just changes the number page from 9 minutes to 12 minutes. You're still watching 7 cars. So we'll work on these problems together, make sure you understand it, make sure you're ready to go. The homework is right there, and we will be able to work through that class. If you have any questions, make sure you get to class, ask me either before class or during class, and that is it.